All right, so one of the things that I want to talk about is how to properly cut garlic. And this is to prevent you from using, say, just garlic powder or garlic salt or any kind of garlic you might get other than just a good old head of garlic. So what I'm going to do is take this head of garlic and get 3 cloves out to cut. Now, if you want, you could always cut more garlic and save it in your fridge for a day or two, but I need 3 cloves for what I'm doing. So I'm going to take my head of garlic and I'm just going to sort of twist the paper to see the actual cloves themselves. And to make it easier on me, I'm actually going to take the 3 largest cloves, which are always the ones along the outside perimeter. So I'm just going to pull them off. 1, 2, and we'll take this one. Now when you take off the clove, there are 2 different parts. There's the part that it actually attaches to the root, and then there's the top of the clove. To make this easy, I'm actually going to take my knife and cut off that root end. So root end cut off, root end cut off, and root end cut off. Whenever you scrape your cutting board with your knife, always do it with the back of your blade so you don't dull your knife. I'm going to take these now cut garlic pieces, place my knife over them carefully, and then using the palm of my hand, I'm going to press down until I hear a smashing sound. It's a very satisfying sound. I'm going to take the garlic and I'm going to simply toss the paper to remove the actual paper from the garlic. I'm going to make sure that I got all of it off. It's a really easy way to peel your garlic so you're not trying to do it in a long, drawn-out process. And then I'm going to repeat that with the other 2 cloves. Smash, shake, remove all paper, smash, shake, remove the paper. You want to make sure you get all the paper off your knife. Garlic becomes very sticky when you begin cutting it. So double check your cloves and then move all of them to the center of your board. If any of your cloves have a center green section, like that, you can always remove that. It will sometimes cause bitterness, but better safe than sorry to just pull it out. Move the cloves to the center, and then you're going to take your knife and you're going to use your fingers on your opposite hand to actually hold the top of the knife down on the cutting board like this. This is going to enable you to do a chopping motion, repetitive, across the board. I'm actually going to begin by slowly cutting through the garlic. Nice strips, nice and slow, back and forth. And once I've made 1 or 2 passes with my knife, I'm going to carefully scrape the garlic off the knife with my finger, being careful to avoid the blade. I'm going to move the pieces back to the center, and this is where the fun part begins. Once I have them in the center, I place my fingers on the knife, I be careful, I always know where my other hand is, and then I just chop as quick as I want, up and down, back and forth, up and down. Some of the pieces will move a little farther away from you, but you'll get them in the end. And as you cut, you want to get all the pieces into as fine of a dice as possible. Minced garlic would be what this is called. Back and forth, scrape about halfway through the cutting. Get all of it off your knife, all of it off your fingers, and then you move those pieces back to the center. This is where you would get any of the large pieces that were roaming, scooting further away. And we repeat, cut, 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 back and forth a few times, a couple passes with your knife. And what you're going for is essentially uniform small pieces of garlic. Now there'll be a couple larger pieces in here that may have missed the knife once or twice, but it's not a problem at all. I've got my garlic. I'm going to wipe it off the knife, off my finger, move it to the center, and I now have 3 cloves of garlic all prepped and ready to be used for my evening meal. And that's how it's done.